is the Cruise Zone on Radio Now 95.3 FM.
All right, welcome back. It's still the Cruise Zone on Radio Now 95.3 FM with your super duo, right? Dan Akins, and of course my main man, my partner in crime, Djaji Prime. And of course, right, we've gone through the first half of the show. It's onto the interview segment of the show that always gets Djaji excited, right? and as always,
and you too.
And as always, I'm excited, of course. As always, you know, every week we bring to you a banging artist that you definitely need to check out, right? And as always, today, we've not failed you. Djaji, do you want to do the honors?
Okay, we've got a spectacular, magnificently talented artist in the building who just dropped a new project,
right?
6 Sense, out now. Of course, we're talking to the wonderful Ilaye.
Woo.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you feeling today, Ilaye?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
I must say, I love your makeup. So I'm a big fan of makeup, right? So I love it. It's banging, right?
As you can tell, Ilaye is very softly spoken, very gentle, very graceful. And we're going to be talking about some of those.
Please speak up.
We're going to be talking about some of those characteristics in this interview.
Yeah.
But generic question. You've been putting out official singles since 2017.
Yes.
I read somewhere you started singing or writing at age 8.
Correct.
So where does the story of music and Ilaye start?
Bro, I really don't know. Like, I can't put my finger on the exact moment it started. But I know my mom used to sing in the choir. And she used to sing a lot at home. And my cousins were, like, huge fans of, like, Usher and Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston. And they would always play, like, their records. And we always had music in the house.
Okay.
But weirdly, I started writing before I started singing.
Okay.
So I think I started writing poetry. Like, I would just scribble a few very, like, dumb rhymes or whatnot.
How did you know what to say at that age? What was running around your mind?
What were you doing at 8?
What was I doing at 8?
I really don't know where I came from. I was a very, like, I was a loner when I was, like, younger. So I was always by myself. And my folks and, like, my siblings were always like, what's wrong with you? You know? Because I was just, like, very reserved. So I think it was in those moments where I would, like, retreat and I'll just have these stuff, all these things and words and rhymes come to me. And I think probably that's where it started, by being alone.
All right, so something interesting, right? She's from, shall I say from the city of Ibadan? I don't want to say from, like, state of origin, but you were born there, lived Ibadan.
No, I did school.
You did school in Ibadan, right?
University
Okay.
of Ibadan.
Oh, okay.
You know
Shut
I
up.
love it.
Shut up. But yeah, how has Ibadan shaped your music and your style?
I'll be really honest. I can be honest,
Of
right?
course.
Right,
you
of
can.
course, that's the point.
Not much. 'Cause I wasn't giving time to music during my time in school. I know I was listening to a lot of people, a lot of musicians, but I wasn't, like, trying to create at the time.
Interesting.
So, as an introvert,
I'm
right?
hurt. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
On behalf of all Ibadan people, I'm hurt. But let's.
Well, at least she's honest. At least you're
love that.
straightforward. So, as an
Sorry, I would like to add, like, right now, most of the musicians I work with are from Ibadan.
Yeah.
So, like, of course, I can attest to the talents. It's incredible.
Right. Thank you for that. I mean, it's an afterthought, but thank you.
Consolation. As an introvert, how do you filter your influences? How do you say, I like this, I want to imbibe this? And how do you because people assume that because you're an introvert, you don't have a lot of feedback with the rest of the world.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I don't filter my influences.
Okay.
I don't even try to. I just open, like, my door to everything. And I go with however it makes me feel. Like, I just go with the flow.
Fair enough. So
you want to say something?
No. It's intriguing, really. So it's like, I mean, you meet a lot of people that say, I'm an introvert, and tentatively that means that they sort of close themselves to other things. So you just pick on the few things that appeal to them and just lock themselves up and just deal with those things.
I don't even know if I'm an introvert. I've never said out loud
that
to anybody that I'm an introvert. I think I'm an ambivert. I'm a mix of both. Like, I enjoy being around people as much as I enjoy being alone.
Okay.
Maybe I need to be alone more than I need to be with other people, but I wouldn't say I'm an introvert. I like going out.
Right.
Okay.
You know.
Sorry for that assumption then. But yeah, Pneuma, right? That's your first project.
Yeah.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Pneuma, yes.
Explain the word, and because it's an uncommon word, right? And a lot of your style is very uncommon and takes a bit of time to process. So what was it like developing that project? Were you at all a bit apprehensive, and how did you take that concept and bring it to life?
Okay, so most of the songs on Pneuma, I wrote them a long time ago.
Okay.
Some of them like 2013, 2012. I think with Pneuma, I wanted to bring all my favorite songs that I had written at the time and put it out. That's what I was trying to do, because I felt like I categorized my favorite songs with how they made me feel when I was writing them. So like how easy the writing process was, how on the spot it was. And yeah, almost all the songs on Pneuma reflected that. And that's actually like the meaning of Pneuma. Like, it's effortless. Pneuma is basically like the creative, what it means is the creative force of a person. And you don't like necessarily, if you're creative, it comes naturally most of the time. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I was trying to say with that.
Why was it so important that the music was effortless, that you didn't put a lot of attention to writing these songs?
Because it just feels good when it's effortless.
Okay.
Whenever I write, and most of the time when I write, it's effortless, honestly. So the times that it's not, I don't enjoy it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So for you, you're saying music is not it's not a thing of I have to do it. So it's a thing of if it's not coming, I'm not pushing it.
I think it's a little bit of both. I have to do it because I love it, and it's like, you know, my life. And the second point, I want it to flow and not be forced. So it's a little bit of both.
Right, let's get to some of the songs, right? Barbecue. It has that sort of like rustic feel.
Yeah.
Define rustic.
Like rural guitar chords, country kind
alternative,
of feel. Yeah.
What do you think was responsible for this? And trust me, I'm going to get into the lyrics of the songs because I need to understand what's going on.
Oh boy. Okay. So, sorry, ask your question again.
No, like, what do you think is responsible with that sound on Barbecue, right? Part of your first project, Pneuma, right? What do you think was responsible for that particular sound on Barbecue?
Honestly, I think it was the synergy between like myself and the producer. That's like the first thing, because we made that beat in like seconds.
Okay.
He made the beat in like seconds. Like, I executively produced, like, of course I give him like my ideas and like rhythms and everything, but like it was just, to me anyways, it was magic because it was really quick and it sounded exactly the way I needed it to sound.
Was it played or like just on the keyboard?
Most of it was live, yeah. Most of it was live, and most of it was synthetic. But yeah, I think I would say the synergy. That's responsible for the rustic feel.
Interesting.
There you go.
So we all know who the producer is, but talk us through who the producer is behind that you worked with on Pneuma, and how you built that relationship of trust.
Awesome people. Tiwadara, Sebastian, Ata Otiba, which was like the first producer.
Oh my god! Yeah. That's basically family here. Yeah, we had Tiwadara a couple. I think it was last month or 2 months ago.
3 weeks ago.
I know Ata, so amazing.
Yeah, and Tejuri.
Okay.
Okay.
So I think Daniel is very interested in Sebastian.
No, that's because like I'm a big fan of Bastian, right? I love his music.
He's amazing.
The new song he had, I think, is it Mercedes Benz?
Yes.
Yeah, I really love that song. Right. So what was it like working with him, and why is a relationship with a producer really important? Because we see people do this in a way. It's just like you get producer, okay, we enter studio, let's make music, bam, it's done. Why is that relationship and synergy between an artist and a producer very important?
I feel like if you're not happy with the person that you're working with, it would somehow reflect in the music. Like maybe you're not comfortable, maybe when you're recording or just generally working together. So you just have to like each other. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get a feel of your music, all right? And let's everyone out there listening right now get a feel of your music as well. So we'll play Barbecue, right, off your first project, Pneuma, right? So this is Barbecue by Ilaye. Stick with us. It's the Cruise on Radio Now, 95.3 of 3 FM. We'll be right back right after this.
This is the Cruise Zone on Radio Now 95.3 FM. For you, that's
All right, you're still listening to the Cruise Zone on Radio Now 95.3 FM. My name is Djaji Prime, and I am, of course, not alone. I've got my main partner in crime, Daniel Akins. You were just listening to Barbecue by Ilaye, and we've still got Ilaye in the building. So, that was off Pneuma. Not necessarily old news, but you've just released a new project, 6 Cents. So how does it feel to have that project out? I'm sure you've been working on that project for a while now. So what are your general feelings about the project, and why did you decide on 8 tracks, correct? 6 tracks.
Songs.
Why do you always focus on shorter EPs? When's the album? Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's talk about what's here now. 6 Cents.
Yeah. Okay. I feel great. I feel amazing, actually. Yeah. I've been working on it for a while, a really long time, and I've had to be patient with like the process. And sometimes it was like,
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was also comforting, Like, I really enjoyed writing all the songs. I
You
can't
wrote all
lie.
the songs on the album.
Yes, I did.
Oh, nice.
I really enjoyed writing the songs on the album. It was just really it was amazing. I can't.
Was it a release? Was it a diary? What was your mood when you were writing?
Yeah.
Each of the songs, or like some songs in particular.
Like with some particular projects, you kind of get a sense that it's a story from one part of it to the end, right? So what we're trying to ask is what's the general picture of the song? Is it like you're letting out something, or you're sort of documenting what has just happened to you at that particular time?
Yeah, I think the general picture with 6 Cents is embracing emotions. Like with 6 Cents, we're trying to represent all the other senses outside like your normal 5 physical senses: sight, smell, sound, taste, yeah, just like it could be love, it could be regret, it could be pain, it could be euphoria, like it could be anything you want it to be.
Right. Wow. Go ahead.
So with each song, like I kind of explored my emotions.
Right.
Yeah. So with Figment,
Tell us now,
it's surreal to talk about. Sorry. So with Figment, I explored how I felt about someone in my life that I really cared about, and myself as well. Kind of like looking at my relationship with the person from like a third party point of view, and like analyzing it and then putting it into song.
Right.
And then with
you've got Figment, you've got Flame, YKTV Don't.
Yeah. And Closure.
Yeah.
And Regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So each of them was a different emotion that you
each of
tried
them
to
was different.
catalog. Walk us through some of the producers you worked with and how you guys were able to map out the sound of the project.
I worked mostly with Sebastian. He produced, I think, 4 of the songs out of 6. And like, you know, I said before, we're friends, we're really good friends, and we understand each other musically. Like, we know what we like to hear and what sounds like excite us, and like we understand our brands as well. So yeah, that was easy, and it was effortless, and it was enjoyable.
Right.
Yeah. And I also worked with Remy Baggins.
Yeah, I was like, wow. It seems like you pulled out all the stops for this project, right?
All right, so let's let's dive into the project more, right? What's your songwriting process for, especially for this project? Did you have to lock yourself up, or did you have to be in a very, very
all
sad
got locked
mood?
up, right?
We're all locked up,
Generally we were, but like, what was the special condition that had to be met for you to be in that headspace to write your songs?
Actually, just like Pneuma, some of the songs on this project, I wrote them a long time ago as well.
So is it a rush of inspiration, or today I'm going to write this? And
well, some of them were a rush of inspiration, and some of them weren't. Some of them I took my time. Like, sometimes it wasn't working out, and I had to like leave it alone for a bit and then come back to it when I was ready. Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people comment on your style. More alternative, more soothing. So do people, tell you about accessibility of the music, and how do you respond to that? You're already like, here we go again. But how do you respond to that, and especially as a creative?
I'm going to do whatever I want to do. That's the honest truth. Because, I mean, definitely as a musician, you understand, like, your music has, like, the business side, and you have to think about your audience and what people want to hear from you. But at the same time, you're a human being, and your life is yours, and you have only one. So if you're not, like, happy doing the that you're doing, what's the point?
Okay.
Right.
Fair enough.
In staying true to yourself, right? You brought a lot of, I don't want to say a lot of, but you brought in features, right? And one of them, "Don't With SDC," right? Shouldn't Camp. And like we were saying off air before we came on the show, like, it was a really interesting song, right? Considering the fact that you've sort of gotten accustomed to hearing something from SDC, like, okay, this is the way it's gonna go.
Even
right?
though they have the palm wine thing.
Yeah, but you kind of expect, some kind of boom, 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 kind of, energy and all of that. But like on the song, it was mellow, right? Like the way he entered, it was mellow. I was expecting, okay, so when are they gonna come in? And then they came in, and there was no difference. Like, it was still a part of the song, right? So how did that happen? How were you able to maintain that mood, even with the sort of artists that they are?
And what was even like your thought process,
the
going
intention
into that song?
behind the song?
Yeah.
I think they just responded to my vibe, right? And I don't think that was a difficult thing for them to do, because they're insanely talented and amazing. So I recorded my verse and my hook first before they got to record theirs. So I think they just...
I think it's more of the guts, because if you have a project, you would think, oh, I need to give SDC this type of song.
Right.
But you are like, no, I'm going to give them my type of song.
Yeah.
And they're going to
it's
do
amazing,
what
really.
they need to do. So I think we should play that record.
Yeah,
next.
we definitely need to, right? So coming right up
Yay.
is Don't by Ilaye featuring SDC. That shouldn't camp. It's the Cruise Zone still on Radio 95.3 FM with myself, Dan Akins, and Djaji Prime. We'll be right back.
This is the Cruise Zone on Radio Now 95.3 FM.
All right, welcome back. It's still the Cruise Zone on Radio Now 95.3 FM. My name is Dan Akins, and Djaji Prime, my partner in crime, is still with me on the show.
Yep.
And of course, we still have the amazing Ilaye with us in the building. And you just listened to Don't by herself featuring SDC, right off a new project, Sixth Sense.
Yep. So, Ilaye, we could talk about your, your project. The art you've been making, I think, is exceptional. And I'm really inspired by the fact that you choose to be yourself unapologetically. So speaking of the project Flame, Flame is very short, and I'm very upset because it seems that you R&B artists have this thing of making really beautiful songs very short.
Yeah, do not gonna put it there and put interlude.
Why?
With Flame, I wanted to keep it short because there was just one thing I wanted to say, and I said it. And I don't know if people are going to hear it, but I said it.
Is it representative of like a short flame? Kind of.
Well, I would actually like to buy into the idea and be like, oh yeah, but no, not really. I wasn't thinking about the relationship between the word flame, and it was more about the person I was writing about.
Huh, interesting. There's a person.
You talk a lot. You talk a lot or sing a lot about love. Do you think love is a specific emotion, or it's more of an obligation, like a duty sort of?
I feel like the lyrics are sounding incredibly cheesy. I feel like love is the reason we're alive. Like, I don't know. It doesn't
romantic.
Like, it doesn't even have to be like romantic love, like any kind of love. Just the fact that you can think of someone else above yourself at any given instance. I feel like that's purpose, and that's the reason why we're here, to help one another.
Fair enough.
All right, so last year you were sort of heavily involved in the peaceful protest, like series of peaceful protests that sort of occurred right. What are your thoughts on youth and Nigerians demanding for more, right? And what do you think is the most effective ways to sort of harness our voice for change?
My thoughts on Nigerians demanding for more. We shouldn't be demanding in the first place. It's upsetting that we are. But it is what it is, and we have to do what we have to do. And with ways we can continue to push for our rights and justice, is just to continuously show up. Whenever you need to be a part of the conversation, be a part of the conversation, and just continue talking about it and demanding until hopefully one day it'll pay off. Because right now is they're not, their ears are like just closed, like they're deaf or something.
To close on a lighter note, of course a standard for me is YKTV. You have my sweetheart, Lady Donley.
Talks about
our sweetheart.
Talks about her way too much.
Our sweetheart.
Okay,
talks
our
about her way
sweetheart.
too
She's
much.
everybody's cash money.
Yeah, she's cash
So,
money.
how did that collaboration come about, and how was it working with Donley on that song?
It was amazing.
I can imagine.
I've always wanted to work with her for like the longest time. I think since 2017, I've wanted to work with her, but I just never had like the courage to reach out until last year. And I reached out to her and I was like, oh yo, I have this project coming out and I would really like to have you on it. And she says, say no more. Literally, I was mind blown and excited and happy, and I'm just grateful. Shouts to Cash for me.
Shout out to Lady Donley. And shout out to you, Ilaye. Thank you for being a wonderful guest.
It's been amazing.
We're really excited. We love the new project and we can't wait to see what you come with next.
So if you're listening right now, you've been listening to Ilaye, right? You need to go check out a new project. It's called Sixth Sense. It's absolutely mind-blowing. So make sure you go check it out. And I would suggest, right, so close your door, draw the curtains and turn off the lights and just play the music and just let the music work,
and to introduce you along that journey, we will leave you with YKTV by Ilaye featuring Lady Donley. It's still the Cruise Zone. We'll be right back.